Yeah, and welcome to Papastache. Well, let's do 102 today. So, I was talking to one of my Skype students today, and he's a real good player, real burning, like, technical, awesome guitar player. And he was telling me, he's like, you know, I've just gotten to the point to where I've gotten over being technically proficient and fast and stuff like that, and I just want to have melody and hit the right notes. So I got a link down below, and that's like a real basic introduction on target notes and how to hit the right notes at a 1-4-5. It's not on YouTube, so check that out. But what I'm doing in the intro was something I heard this awesome guitar player. I check out this Rack site a lot, shows pedals and stuff, and this guy's name I think was Peter Mendel. And he was just doing like the freaking most beautiful soloing over chords, but he was playing the chords and letting an open string drone. So what I thought I would do is to help us all be more melodic. It's a really effective tool, especially in major. Major's a really hard thing for people to come by because we're so steeped in minor pentatonic and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'll show you a couple ways and a couple riffs, and then I'll let you chain the ideas together and create your own melodies. So let's zoom in for a closer look. Alright, so one of the things I'm going to recommend right off the bat is to know where the E shape, the A shape, and the D shape, those inversions of all your chords. And what I mean by that is an E shape would be like this, your typical E major open pentatonic. Now chord, excuse me, I'm so thinking pentatonic always, I just came out. The A version of that chord, right? Keep in mind we're talking about what an open position, so an A would look like this. Well, where you can get this shape to make an E chord is if you bring it up, right? And now, right, here's that A, but we just have a different root note. So now that chord is called an E chord. So we have the E shape, the A shape. Now there's also a D shape. Okay, this is an open D position, and we know that E is a whole step up from D, so all we have to do to find the D position is bring it up a whole step. Now this root note doesn't apply anymore. It would be more like this, right? Because if we're playing a D chord and we have that root note right there, it's down a whole step. So it would be the same thing. So the whole chord would look like that. Now, why I bring that up is because if you know here, here, and here, you can get all over the fretboard. Now just imagine you knowing that for each of the three chords that we're going to go by. You knew the three shapes for each of the three chords all over the neck, right? So the cool thing about that is they totally intersect. Now closely you would understand on how to play over the E chord, the A chord, and the B chord in one small area, and you can do that in multiple spots of the neck. Now that's the advantage of that. Now that aside, what I was doing is I was using major pentatonic for the most part and the E major scale. So what I can do is go okay, now right there I'm playing out of that E right here. But what I'm really, in reality, I'm figuring out is what notes do I like to play over that E chord. So what I did was, now for those of you who know your E major pentatonic, this D shape falls right into that position 4. Right? So when you hear all the kind of know, right? Where you always hear that, right? So you're outlining two of the notes right there by going. You've already played two notes within that chord, so it sounds awesome, and it's that mixing of the other notes with it, right? Coming back to a chord tone, we bent up. Consequently, when you bend this up a whole step right here, you're going into the major third of the E right here, right? So that's why, again, open E shape, the D shape of the chord, and the A shape will help you, because you'll know that that is part of that E chord right there. Now, one of the things I also like to do, right there, I'm taking notes. And I'm using the suspended version of some of the chords. Right, like if I went, right, I was doing suspended fourth. Okay, now what we can do is, remember we're staying in E major, to help play over the chord changes. Now I'm going to use those shapes and those patterns as a vehicle, right, and a guidepost to staying within the right notes. But now I'm going to hit a droning A. Right? Those sound great. I'm still right in that same position I was in. Why that works is now I'm in the E position of that A chord. I haven't even changed pentatonic shapes yet. Right? We could do a more A chord like that. I have no idea what that chord's called. Some of you theory buffs out there could tell me. But that's still in that pentatonic shape too, or the major shape. Right? But we've played all those notes over that A chord too. So we've done E in the beginning. Third of the A chord. We can do the suspended. Right? We haven't even gone up to the higher part of the neck yet. Now, one of the cool things about ascending and descending runs is you can descend this way, but ascend with the notes. And what I mean was, instead of going like this, a really cool sound, especially in major, would be to so you're going this way, right? Going down the scale, but you're going up the notes. Right, as you're doing it, it gets this really cool. Sound to it, right? So that would be all out of that A shape, where your first position, major pentatonic, is right behind that. So E major pentatonic is right behind that A shape. Right, now I'm going into the E shape up here, up an octave higher. that cool thing I did with the A chord, I can do right here. Now I know that I have a D shape of the A chord right here. Right there, I did the E shape of the B chord, but I just kind of Hendrixized it. Right, this would be position 5 of E major pentatonic. So it's all right in that. If I want to add that third, I get more of that E major scale sound. I could drop down a whole step and go back to my right, so it's really beneficial to use that to figure out what notes you really like, also to really kind of introduce you to new notes, right, and how they work over that chord progression. And then if you know those E, A, and D shapes of those 3 chords, which consequently was a 1, 4, 5, and E, didn't sound like blues, right? Sounded like something cool and melodic and different. Same thing though, then you can incorporate that stuff in your 1, 4, 5 playing, and it's just awesome. So you can be super, super melodic and break out of that pentatonic, you know, scale box that we're so attached to, and really make melodic, cool solos. Now this was just a very beginning of this, so if you want to see more, let me know in the comments down below if you want more of this kind of stuff. But it's something I've been working with a lot, and it's really helped my phrasing and playing to really try to be more melodic and almost play, you know, chords rather than scales. Yes, way to go. Now again, and don't be afraid to drone. I'm just playing with my fingers in this one too, so don't be afraid to just, you know, ditch the plectrum for a little bit. Play with your fingers and connect, right? It's the melody that draws people into playing, even ourselves, right? We think of the great solos or the great rhythms or anything that we really gravitated to. There, whether it's fast or not, there's some sense of melody and connection that connects you with it. So we got to slow down, play over chords, find those changes, those chords within the scales that we're playing, and target those notes to connect and have some sort of thing to relate to as the chords go by. So work on that. Check out that video down below. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your support. If you like what you see, please by all means spread it to, you know, YouTube, Facebook, the Twitters, the Pinterest, all that stuff. Share it. That would be super awesome. I'm so stoked. There's like 125,000 of you now in the combined channels. Check out the other channel too, if you like pop and country and all that kind of stuff. You're amazing. Thank you from right here. I'll catch you next time.